No way.
Yeah, that's the volume it takes to store enough hydrogen to propel this car close to 400 miles. Just about what it gets running on a full tank of gas.
Wow.
And it's a lot safer than gasoline.
Really?
Yeah, these tanks can be shot at with incendiary bullets or cut in half with a chainsaw, and you could throw a match on them, they just smolder like a cigarette, and you can't say that about a gas tank. Now, if you stored hydrogen and just compressed gas in a tank, it would certainly explode, catch on fire. Here, only the hydrogen that you need is released from the tank. When the tank's heated, it produces hydrogen, and the car burns it. So there's never much gaseous hydrogen in the system at any given time.
Wow. So these are the fuel lines? No, what are these?
These are the... This provides power to the heater in the tank and also reads back the temperature of the tank.
Why is that important?
Well, when you apply heat to hydride, it releases hydrogen. So as power is applied to here, it heats the hydride, and then the gas comes out, the big hose is on the end.
You have 4 hoses. Do they all mix into one big hose or something?
Because you can only get hydrogen out of hydride at a certain rate with a certain temperature. And a single tank, you can't get it out at the volume you need. So you really just split it into 4 smaller units, heat them separately, and it works just fine.
Okay. Now behind me, Bob is getting ready to blow something up. Bob is blowing up water. Well, okay, he's not blowing up water because, as he said, to say you're powering your car on water is the same thing as saying if you're running your car on gasoline, you're powering your car on dinosaurs, and we know that's not the case. This is what?
This is a Hoffman apparatus.
And it's used to
produce hydrogen and oxygen from water.
For fun, just because it's cool.
Well, if you just have a use for hydrogen and oxygen or for demonstration purposes, it works just perfect. All you got to do is fill it with water.
That's just regular water, right?
Well, actually, water with a little citric acid, potassium hydroxide, anything like that. The more conductive you make the water, the faster hydrogen will come out.
And each one of these sides is supposed to be hydrogen and oxygen?
Right. One will be... Hydrogen will bubble up out of one, and oxygen will bubble up out of the other. Remember, water is H2O.
Right.
So when we break the bond of water apart, we'll get twice as much hydrogen gas as we do oxygen.
Oh, so what happens to the water? It just goes away.
Right. It gets converted into...
So each one of these tubes, the water just goes down, but what's left is the gas?
Right.
And there'll be more on this side?
Yes.
That's the hydrogen side.
Exactly. And that's the negative.
Oh, so it matters which way you hook these up. So you got to hook up positive to what is... The positive's going to make... The...
Positive will make the oxygen, and the negative will make the hydrogen.
Okay.
So we've just connected it there.
Right.
And just by turning it on, you can see bubbles start pouring up out of there.
It's 7-Up.
Kinda.
So those bubbles are... Well, they're not the same. So these are hydrogen bubbles and those are oxygen bubbles.
Right.
And this is whiter. There's more of them.
Right. You can see it's really...
Why is there more? Oh, H2.
Oh, right. Yeah. There's twice as much.
Hey, that actually makes sense.
So I'll close it off so it saves,
right.
Seals the gas in, and then you'll see it'll start filling up.
Oh, we don't have to go away overnight? This will do it while we're watching?
Yeah, it'll be relatively quick. And what we'll do is take a little sample of the hydrogen gas and light it.
Right.
And you can see.
What are these? You just have electrical current going to a piece of foil?
Well, it's a piece of platinum foil, and the reason you need platinum in there is because it's very corrosive to a metal for electrolysis to occur. I mean, it's really ripping the atoms of the metal apart, but platinum is highly resistant to corrosion. Now, this is a slow method.
Right.
And, you know, it consumes a fair amount of electricity. Now, if the electricity is being produced from solar panels or a wind generator, it doesn't cost you anything, so who cares? But still, you don't want to wait, you know, hours and hours and hours and hours to refill a vehicle. You want something that can produce hydrogen at a fairly quick rate. So let's go ahead and extract some of this.
Okay. Look at that. Wow.
So there's power of hydrogen. You see, just from water, something exploded.
So this is the same thing that was inside the lab?
Yeah, that was a small tabletop model. This is a large industrial version, essentially, which connects right to the water main.
Right.
And produces a much higher volume.
The water main, the garden hose.
Right, yeah, garden hose. You can plumb it in like you connect your, dishwasher, or just connect it to a garden hose.
Right.
And it's powered by either solar array, solar panels, which convert sun into electricity, or a wind turbine. Takes the wind, converts it to electricity, or any other way. But the idea is just to use complete green energy. Ideally, I like to run this one on solar. New Mexico gets a lot of sunlight, So that's really all there is to it. You connect it to a water line, plug it into your solar panel, and open the water line. Unit starts producing hydrogen, and when it has a sufficient quantity in there, you let the hydrogen out, and you just leave it plugged into your car overnight.
World's first wireless
Candles. You might hear that click.
I know it's been a minute, but I mean, my account is in warning status, and I kind of didn't want to fuck it up. But I gotta say some shit. Do y'all remember the African man who invented that first wireless TV, right? And then he was invited to come to America, something like that, and I think he got poisoned, and everybody thought he was dead, right? And first of all, y'all see the shit with the white guy who's claiming to have invented the first wireless TV or whatever that's going around on TikTok right now, right? Y'all see this shit, right? Anyway, let me roll the clip for people that might not know who this man is, and we'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, this is our self-powered TV that we have designed. The first in the world to have such kind of a technology where a television is powered with a radio frequency. So as you can see right now, I'm powering this television. So this is the first television in the world that uses self-power to say. It is all in one. You don't need to put it on electricity or on solar panel or anything. As it is a complete solution. Behind the television, you can see that there is a microsonic energy device, this box. This is the device that is converting radio frequencies into pure energy. As you can see, the power of the cable was supposed to be here. On all traditional televisions, power comes here, but there's no power.
This African is doing amazing things. He invented an electric car that can run without a battery and without recharging, a television set that works perfectly without power, and a helicopter that flies without fuel. Maxwell Chikumbutso, a Zimbabwean, has shown that his genius can weaken the economies of the superpowers to the benefit of Africa. He has 3 assassination attempts to his credit. He invented a technology to turn radio frequencies into electricity. He applied for a patent for his work but was repeatedly denied. The reason given is that he deviated from the laws of physics. Subscribe.
You can piss on the fire and call the dogs in. This hunt is over. Let there be light.
My baby, my Valentine. Can I hit the Mickey with the temperature? If you leave me a good time, I swear. You are like the oxygen I need to survive. I'll be honest. Loving the thought of me, I am so obsessed. I want to chop your I need a back and it's open and make us feel. Yeah, my love one thing. Me make a bad man sing. I follow come love is really good. I got the finish work. Without you, I could feel lose my mind. Without you, I could feel fall and die. Without you, I could give up my life. Without you, never did it back and it's real. Open up, make us feel. Yeah, my love one thing.
Anytime you see my face, you know you about to get some goddamn education. Welcome to Whitewash, episode 1. Now, first up the bat, we have the founder of Chicago, Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable. And this motherfucker is not him. The real Jean-Baptiste was a so-called black man, actually of French and Haitian descent, born around 1745. After the establishment of Chicago, he married an indigenous woman named Kitawa. You know what's crazy? Kitawa would have been considered black these days. On to our next investigation, we have here Honest Abraham Lincoln. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, wait a goddamn minute. But before you reach for your tiki torches, let's see how Honest Abe described himself. Now, Abraham Lincoln described himself as having a dark-skinned complexion and coarse black hair. He also goes to describe his father as having a swarthy complexion and brown eyes. British journalist Edward Dicey stated that Lincoln's uncombed and uncombable dark hair stands up every which way, and that Lincoln's nose and ears were so big they had to be taken from a head twice his size. American writer Nathan Hawthorne said that Lincoln's complexion was dark and hollow, with a big-ass nose. So why don't you ever find those features on the pictures you see of him?